What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Major Keyz podcast with your host, Zach Wilson, talking to keyboard players about music and life and everything in between.
Yeah.
This is installment 3 of highlighting all of my piano teachers. I've had 4 of them that have made me the musician and the version of Zach Wilson who I am today. We have Mark Mitchell, we have Stephen Thornton, and now we've got Mr. J. Adams.
Yeah. What up, everybody?
What's going on, bro?
Hey, man, nothing much. I'm just honored to be a part of the Major Keyz podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man. Glad to have you. You know, you're busy, so,
I am busy, but, never too busy for my boy.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right. We want to start from the top. How did you get started playing keys?
Wow. So this is an interesting story. When I was probably around 8th grade, I was living in Japan, and I was already a drummer. So I was playing drums for church or what have you. And we had moved to Japan. We were living in a super, super small house in a Japanese neighborhood, like not on the military base because my dad was military. So we're living off base, super small house. I'm sharing a room with my little brother, and my dad has nowhere to put his keyboard at the time. He had a Roland D50.
Oh, wow. That just sounds...
It
sounds old.
But it's classic. Anybody that has a D50, y'all know how classic a D50 is. But my dad had the D50, and he had nowhere to put it, so he put it in our room. So now what happened was I got on punishment. My dad was like, hey, you can't play that Super Nintendo no more. You know, PlayStation.
I don't know what you did to get on punishment, though.
I really don't even
I bet
remember.
it was something...
It was probably something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But... I got on punishment. I can't play my Super Nintendo. The PlayStation hadn't dropped yet. So now I'm just in the room. Nothing. I see the keyboard, and I'm like, let me a little twinkle on this thing a little bit, So I started messing around with it, and I liked it. And I kept on playing. So then different people would, I would hear songs at rehearsals in church. Of course, I'm on the drums, but I'm like, man, I hear the little melody. Let me try to pick it out. And so I just started trying to pick stuff out, and I loved it, man, and I stuck with it. So the first song, and this is not a first song, but the first song that I learned was Still I Rise by Yolanda Adams. So anybody who knows that song, if you listen now, I mean, I could probably just, play it off by ear now, but.
Of course you can. Man.
Learning it then.
Yeah, learning it like when you don't really know what to do.
That was the hardest song in the world, but that was my introduction to Keyz, and I stuck with it, man. It just lit me up.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And you come from a musical family.
I come from a musical family, so my mom sings, my dad plays, of course, and then that branched out to me and my siblings. My sister sings, background in the gospel world from, all kind of artists with she's mostly with Miranda Curtis right now. Y'all probably may have heard of my younger brother, Xavier Omar.
Yeah. We mentioned him on the podcast a couple because I mentioned you a couple times, and I was like, so I mentioned Xavier.
So connect the dots or whatever.
Yeah.
So the whole family does the thing, but my dad has always been the minister of music. Like churches we've gone to, somehow he was like in the music ministry, whether he was on, the head guy, minister of music, or just a musician, MD, what have you. So music has always been just what I've known, what I've loved, man.
So got you. So learning, this is like 8th grade. So did you ever get a teacher or no?
Here's the crazy thing. I never had not one like formal lesson. And I kind of get mad at my dad when I think about this in present day, because he could have made me a beast.
Yes.
I'm like, bro, you knew all this stuff. You knew I was out here trying to practice, but he never pushed me. He never was like, yeah, you need to get in there and start playing the keys. He never did that. And I don't know if that was because, he didn't want that on me or try to force me into music, but he never tried to push me to it. But in my older age, I'm like, I wish you would. I could have been like a little child prodigy.
Yeah. You could have been out here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, he still let me get it on my own. And I love that. So no formal lesson. My first piano lesson actually happened at the campus of Hampton University. I scammed my way into Listen, I don't really want to say, how long have I been out of school? I don't really want to say these things.
I'll bleep out the school or something. Well, no, I can't do. Nah, it's all over your Instagram. All right, so you ended up at Hampton University.
This is what happened. I'll tell the
due
story.
to a different set of circumstances.
Yeah.
Untraditional from the average student.
Yeah.
Let's go from. Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
I'm just gonna tell it because
Right,
now
go
you're
ahead,
making
man.
me seem
Hey, go
sketchy.
ahead. Go
You're
ahead.
making me seem shady now.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
There's an entrance exam, as most schools do, and you
Okay.
got to know, play a little something. They were like, we want to hear a little etude, a little something.
Yeah.
You know, I have memorized this etude in B flat.
You drumlined it.
I was Nick Cannon, bro.
Yeah.
I was in there.
You're like, all right, I got it.
And then Dr. Lee got me.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
But so what happened was, I was in there just like I had memorized the etude, I played it, and then it was like, oh, okay. Can you sight read something? I was like,
Have you ever read music up until that point? Have you ever been able to look at a sheet of music and read anything?
I knew basic stuff from school.
Okay.
Like EGBDF. I knew those were the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure I knew the spaces at the time.
Dog.
So I was just like,
Dog.
I was found out, boy. I was in there like,
they're like, ain't no way.
So what they did, they humbled me. They was like, we gonna put you in music 000. They was like, you gotta start. You can't even go 1-on-1. You gotta go 000.
Man.
And so they did that, man. But what that really did was started me on a journey and have appreciation for music theory and actually knowing what I was playing because I was learning so much music. Mm-hmm. And by the time I was, graduating high school, everybody's like, yo, you should go to school for music. You should really, I was like, all right, let's do it. But I had no clue. Like, I couldn't tell you what a triad was. I knew nothing.
Wow.
And so when I got to school, they was like, all right.
And your parents let you. Like, they weren't like, maybe you should take a couple of lessons or something before you're just like, oh, I want to go to school for music, but like you have never read a sheet of music at all.
Never. Nothing. It's crazy when you hear it now,
It
right?
is kind of. I'm like, it's just like, all right, well, you figure it out.
But they was just like, oh yeah, you want to do music? Go for it, man. Music is in you. I won't even say that, but
yeah,
music was in me, and so I loved it. I went to school, and what got me into learning how to actually play is I went to my advisor, Dr. Sheila May, at Hampton University, and she was like, this is what we're going to do. We got your schedule. She made it so every day I had to sit in a practice room for 4 hours. Mm-hmm. You know how practice rooms are at school. Mm-hmm. And now think of it at a HBCU. It was just a little room, raggedy room, no windows, no nothing. Only thing could fit in there is the piano. Mm-hmm. And so 4 hours a day, I'm just in there learning. Because my piano teacher, she told me that I sucked.
Oh, wow.
If I remembered her name, I would call her out right now.
You don't remember her name?
She was like Polish or something from Poland, and I couldn't even understand her in the first place.
But you understood that she told you that you suck.
I heard that part. And she told me I could not be a piano player because I couldn't put your hand like tennis ball.
Oh, wow.
That's what she was saying.
Oh, because you couldn't get your...
I couldn't get my fingering right. Well, not even the fingering. I just couldn't get my hand position together.
Dog. And she said, and how old were you when she told you said? You had to have been like 15.
No,
16? This is high school?
This is college.
Oh, this is in college?
Yeah, this is my first time. Like, now I got a teacher,
Wow.
I'm in college now. And
so the teacher... Wow, okay. So you're... main professor at Hampton. So wait, so there's a Polish person at an HBC?
She's not there anymore.
Well, I mean, like,
well, she was there for that first semester.
Wow.
I want to say that I was responsible for. Hey, you got to get up out of here because who are you to tell me I suck?
Wow.
No, but no, it was a reality check because for real, like in the gospel world, in church world, man,
you were killing.
I was killing. I knew everything. But then when I came to, although this is music. This ain't just a little church around the corner.
Yeah.
So. She was right. I sucked. I didn't know nothing. And I was like, wow, I do. And so it humbled me. I had to start from that bottom and work my way up. I remember my first assignment. She was like, yeah, you got to know pages 1 through 9, bro. She was like, for next week. That's it. Mm-hmm. I was like, I can't get to measure 9.
Oh, wow.
Like
1 through 9 of a piece, not know the information out of a book.
Pages. Like there was a piece. So what she did, she gave me a little quick pop quiz. Like, what do you know? Do you know this? Doing this? I had just had a theory class before my piano class. And so she was like, oh, you know everything. You good. So, all right, here goes some homework. No, pages 1 through 9. It was just a little exercise.
Oh, okay. Oh, exercise. Okay.
But for me, who don't read music, bro, I can't get to measure 9 of exercise 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a daunting task. But of course, we know how the end works. I did those 4 hours a day and came out. I'm wiser.
Well,
I'm stronger.
I mean, like,
I'm
yeah,
better.
yeah.
You know?
Much better. But also, you failed the theory test. You failed the first theory test after being in the room for whatever amount of hours.
Well, no. Okay, here's the thing.
Because I remember that story.
I failed many a test.
Okay.
But here's because at Hampton, the way that it's set up, and if anybody's watching this and you're getting ready to go to Hampton for music, I promise you this is the same today. Dr. Harvey Stokes, he just recycles all of his homework, all of his tests and everything like that. But people still don't pass the class.
Oh, so he's just hard, like a hard teacher.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're going to take him and you're going to fail and you're going to take him again. So keep all your work because it's going to be the same for next year.
I don't understand the concept. Thankfully, I don't really think I had a teacher like that. But I don't understand, especially not in my music classes. I didn't have a teacher like, oh, you're going to fail.
I'm going to chop it up.
I don't understand the concept of doing that.
I'm going to chop it up to like the HBCU experience.
Okay.
I
didn't have that.
Yeah, it's just, hey, Doc, you're going to fail this class, so keep all your work and pass it next semester. I don't know why. It was dumb.
Wow.
We all wasted time. Some people were smart and just bought work from, well, let me not incriminate people, but.
You didn't say their names.
Y'all know how y'all got through college.
Hey, man, the degree's on the wall. After that, you really can't. We got here.
Here we are. You know what I mean?
But, man, so that's crazy. So what was the official degree title?
So music engineering technology.
Okay. So you have a bachelor's in music engineering.
Basically, live sound.
Okay.
To just some of them, they were trying to figure out what to call it at the time. This sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
got you. And so, take me from when you graduated college. So, what was the journey then?
So, I was super young. I had just finished school. I was married.
Mm-hmm.
I had a child. And so my first job, I actually got a job into full-time ministry at Fellowship Bible Baptist Church in Warner Robins, Georgia. Pastor at the time was
Willie L. Reed,
the late Reverend Doctor,
late great
Willie L. Reed Sr. And man, that was my stomping grounds, like my first job, my first ministry assignment. And
but wait, you played Keyz at the chapel at college though.
Oh, I did.
And you, at the time, were balling, or so you, like. Is this that was the place I was playing? That was paying.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to give out how much.
Okay, so
but I remember you telling me this, and I was like, "Dog, that sounds like so much money. I can't wait till I'm there."
Let me go through my college. I'll quickly go through. So
man, we got time.
Hampton University, I was the first freshman to be on payroll at the chapel.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool for me. Paying, good money for a college student. You just play on Sunday, you make your little money. So that was cool. Then I got connected to this church, and I was getting paid like $600 a week. And a college student, $600 a week is.
And what church was this?
Do I have to say the name?
Where is it?
It's in Hampton, Virginia. I'm not gonna say the name.
I was like,
yeah, I'm not gonna say the name of any of these
like,
churches.
I know they need an aux player.
I was making $600 a week, and that was a great job. But for me, it's never always been just about the music because, of course, I'm a Christian and I love the Lord.
Yeah.
And I try to walk it out for real.
Right.
So it was just like, I'm just in here just playing. I don't know not one sermon. I've been here 2 years and I don't know not one sermon that was preached.
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy it, and I was like, I was about to get married. I was like, I don't want to really bring my family into this.
Okay.
So I left out of there. Went to another church, and this is the church that taught me a lesson about getting stuff in writing.
This is the church that scammed you.
I got scammed.
You.
Oh, I got scammed.
Oh yeah. You tell it, man.
So what happened was, they came in. It's a big church, right? I'm talking about balcony and everything. Like I'm like, oh wow. So I'm expecting. I was like, it's a new store. I really only need like $300 a week. I'm gonna be good. And so I get in there, and I'm faithful. I don't know what it is. I just was just committed myself to the church. So finally, they approached me. Was like, we want to bring you on the musical staff. And I'm sitting in the meeting, the pastor, the finance guy, the minister of music. We want to bring you on, and we want to start you. We get paid monthly. We want to start you at $4,500. Is that good for you? Let the church say amen. College student.
$4,500 a month.
Oh, I was
dog.
like, yes,
Man.
Let's go. So I couldn't believe it, so much so that the next day I called the minister of music. I was like, hey, bro, I know we talked about what I was getting. Can you tell me how much that is a week? Because I really I want to make sure.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, bro, I know it was $4,500, but I don't even know how much that is. But we're really opening up the purse for you. Those are his exact words. We're really opening up the purse. Now, the reason why I tell you his exact words is because this man worked at Bank of America.
So he knows
what opening the purse means.
Yeah.
He worked at Bank of America. So fast forward to the end. I get my first paycheck at the end of the month. And I'm look at it, and I was like, woo. So it looked a little short. I called the minister of music. I was like, hey, bro, I want to talk to you about my check. And it was actually on a Sunday. So we were going to another church. We get to the other church. I was like, hey, man, let me talk to you about my check. I know y'all take taxes out. It was real official and everything like that. But I'm missing a zero. Like at least a zero on here.
Yeah.
The check was $225. And I was like,
that's way different from $4,500.
I said, I thought it was $4,500 a month. He was like, oh, bro, no, that was $4,500 a year.
Whew.
I just need anybody who plays at a church, or if this is your livelihood. That was my livelihood at the time. Of course, I told you I was married and whatnot, about to finish school. $86 a week.
You were hurt. That's a big hurt. Because I know you had already spent in your mind. I know you already spent $2,500 of
in my mind. I had people on campus calling me Big Brother 4,500. Like, call me Big Brother 4,500 because I got it. You know what I'm saying? I had bought my wife a brand new phone off contract. Like, we don't.
And this is before you got the check.
I went and spit the 600. Just what?
Dog. Oh my gosh, man.
I had it.
Yeah. So of course, like, why not?
I thought I did. But I was so hurt, man. And so then that reality kind of really sunk in.
Yeah.
And it let me what I realized was that although financially I was in a mess as far as my spirit and what was going on with me, I was in the right place, man. Because, I was a young guy, had just gotten married, was about to have a baby, and those people took care of me.
Yeah.
Not financially.
Yeah.
But
they were there.
The people at the church, they looked out for me, man.
Yeah.
Everything that I needed at that time, they got for me.
Got you.
And so I was at the right place where I was supposed to be. I was hurt financially, but I was where I was supposed to be.
Wow. And how long did you stay there?
Not long.
I was like, love, man, I feel so welcome. I love you. Yeah, this is my last Sunday.
I was there 6 months, man.
Okay. Oh, that's not.
Yeah.
That's actually a lot.
That's a long time. That's half a year.
Considering the circumstances, that is a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
So I was like $86 a week, bro. I was trying to make it work off that. But, I had to get them WIC checks and all that. And the bad thing was I tried to, in college they tell you, hey, go ahead and get that little welfare or whatever, like that. SNAP cards, EBT.
Yeah, okay.
I thought I was going to be making it $300 at the church. So that's what I put on there. They was like, denied. So I couldn't even go back.
Oh, man.
It was rough.
Yikes.
Man. Oh, but God.
Look at you now.
Look at you
now.
Yeah.
All right, so after college, your musical journey from where, like, there until, like, now.
Yeah, so, man, I did 5 years at Fellowship Bible Baptist Church in Warner Robins. It's actually the church where I met you. And so that was just amazing. It was a learning experience because here I am, a young 20-something-year-old kid. Yeah. Really, like I didn't know much. This was my first time, like really trying to do anything. But I was appreciative of them, especially Dr. Reed, like giving me that opportunity to do that. And it was there at Fellowship that I met Dr. Calvin McFadden, and who's now the pastor of the Cornerstone Church, C3 Houston. Yeah, Cornerstone Community Church. And man, he and I linked up and became great friends.
Yeah.
And just kind of was like a dynamic duo in ministry. And so I ended up moving from Warner Robins to Springfield, Massachusetts, with Dr. McFadden at the St. John's Congregational Church, Springfield, Mass. I did that for 5 years.
Yeah.
And that was a test, man, because going somewhere, no family, no friends, no nothing. It was still brand new, still young in my 20s. But
you're in your.
Gosh, I was still in my 20s.
My concept of time. What age of 20s?
I was 25. I think I turned 26. Yeah. Actually, I was 26. I turned 26.
I was like, the concept of like age and time is different to me because like I'm gonna be 26. Like as we're filming, I'm gonna be 26 in 2 weeks, and I was like, you moved to.
So it's me, pretty much at your age, 26.
I'm not moving anywhere
with a family and 2 kids, and we going.
And I have not a family and 2 kids.
And we was out.
I have not that.
But that was.
It's just the story.
My life path, it's always kind of been different. Because I did start a family super young, but because my dad was in the military, one of the things that I wasn't afraid of is, hey, let's go, let's try something new, let's do this. And so, because it being in the military, every 2.5, 3 years, we're getting up, we're moving somewhere new. So that's why I was getting antsy every 2.5, 3 years, wherever I was. I'm like, dog, is it time for me to go? Like, what's up?
What's up? Really?
I was always antsy like that. So at Fellowship, I was kind of antsy by like 2008. But I met Dr. McFadden, and so we got cool.
And that's what I came through. I was like, I'm glad you ain't leave that quick. I was like, hold out just for a second. Yeah.
And there, even in Massachusetts, I got there in 2011. So by 2014, I thought I had big plans, man. I thought I was out of there and everything because we came in, built them a new church and all kind of stuff, multi-billion-dollar facility. All right, my work here is done. I'm ready to. I'm get up out of here because it's cold. It's the North Pole. But I've always felt that itch. But now, so after Springfield, I did that 5 years. I moved back here, and so that was 2016, and I've been here since 2016.
Right.
So this is the longest. I've ever been.
Are you antsy? You trying to?
Honestly, no, man.
From what you told me earlier, I think you're going to be here for a second. I think you're all right.
I'm not going nowhere now, man. And so, like. For me, this is the big thing. A lot of guys, a lot of church musicians are always playing and trying to find. There's really not no path to tell you what's next because are you going to be a church musician all your life? Or like, is there something else? And that's why I kind of get scared for these guys who immerse themselves into music ministry and that's all you do. Like any of those guys, I'm looking at the camera for this one. Any of you guys that are out there and you're playing music and it's your number one source of income. When I say music, I'm talking about at church. If it's your number one source of income, I beg you to change your number one source of income. God is great. Churches are great, but there's more. And so we're not one-dimensional.
Right.
As a musician, period, there's so much creativity that you have inside of yourself, whether it be from music and creativity on the video side or anything like that. But I know if you're already into music, you got some more in you. And churches... Just the business of it, it could be fickle, or there's because there's no kind of financial future or anything like that. You got to make sure if you want a family, you're trying to plan for this, have something, man. Have something that's going to give you a 401k, or be smart about making investments to do that on your own, which a lot of cats aren't.
Gotcha.
So
how did you learn, or how did you discover like I can't just play keys on Sunday? Like how did you or like. Cause like were you ever like gigging, like so how did you come to that like I need to diversify myself besides just being the music minister at church?
So as far as like musically, I always had in me more than just playing at church.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play, especially when I was young in college and right out of college. I'm gonna play for any and everybody. If somebody's coming to town or what have you, gospel artists, secular artists, it didn't matter. I'm jumping in like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to do music. But it actually took me seeing like my family. The gigs come and go, the tours come and go, but then when you're not playing for somebody, that's the rough time, and if you have not really taken care of yourself financially and stored up what you're supposed to, you're going to hit some tough stuff.
Yeah.
And so it took me falling into tough stuff to be like, man, what am I going to do? I got people depending on me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so for me, what I found was, like I said, of course I'm a Christian. I'm super believe what I say and what I play about. So I've always thought the ministry path for me was not just musical, but also spiritual and on an administrative side.
Yeah.
So I've always presented myself as an asset for any church that I work with. So I'm not just going to do your ministry, your music ministry, but I want to help on your admin. I want to help make the church better. I want to immerse myself in this. And it was me seeing that love for ministry overall, and not just music, but just ministry, that made me realize, oh man, you know what? I can do this. I like changing people's lives. I like making an impact on people. And so being able to do that, it was like, you know what? The Lord allowed for me to do it in the same space, like still in church.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not that fortunate. But so for me, I get to do it still in church. So now at the church that I'm at now, Word and Season, I'm the chief operating officer. And so I'm still over the music ministry, which is, which is great, but it probably can't last forever. But I know I'm doing what I love. When I join, I'm still impacting people.
Got you.
So.
Got you. You had a you toured with Smokey Norfolk, right? So how was that tour situation like? Like, was that your first time being on a tour?
It was. So tour life is more about what you make it, opportunity wise, and it's also about really what touring taught me was knowing records, man. You got to know records. So there's nothing about not being prepared to do something. So I can remember, man, being at home when you get the call and the opportunity to play for somebody. If you don't have that hunger, if you don't have that drive, you're not gonna do it, man. You're not gonna do it. That's why a lot of times when we get older as musicians, we say, "Oh man, I don't have time for this anymore. I don't have this." It's just that when we were younger, we put ourselves, everything. Music came first. I didn't have to worry about kids. I didn't have to worry about a wife or any kind of family or nothing like that. Job. Music is my job.
Yeah.
This is all I got. So when I'm able to put myself in that mode, I think that is a perfect life for anybody that wants to tour. If you're all in, you're zoned in, that's what you want to do, hone in on it. But touring is a lot different than from church, because in church, man, we play whatever we want. You know, we just make up stuff. But touring is, we're gonna play this record, or we're gonna play
arrangement.
This arrangement, exactly. This is what it is. We're not deviating. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you play your thing, but it teaches you discipline. A lot of people this year or these times don't have good discipline, but that's what makes you sound good as a band.
Got you. So that was like, was it like a culture shock to you, or was it just like, oh, okay, I'm feeling it out, like I get it?
I kind of got it, because in my music stages, what I was doing was watching people. And I remember one of my mentors told me, if you want to play for somebody or if you want to do something, watch them. And at the time, I was watching any and everybody that came to town. I remember I met a gentleman that was singing with Ty Tribbett and GA. They were brand new at that time. And so, man, I watched everything that Ty did. Like, I was just like, if he comes to town, the way that my brain works, Ty comes to town, and for whatever reason, his key player gets sick.
I'm ready.
I'm in there.
I know that. I'm like, hey, just in case.
That's how my brain works, man. And even to this day, like, I don't care who it is. If I really, like, I just be passionate about that. So if I want to say, oh man, John P. Key come to town, let one of these guys not show up. I'm in there. I'm on the set. So that was my mentality already at that time. So
and you be talking about me jumping in on people's set, but you over here
now,
ready.
The difference is, if y'all know Zach, if y'all are watching this podcast, you know Zach. And so I remember giving this same information, this same speech to him, talking about, hey man, follow cats, go look at people that you really enjoy. So y'all know Zach, y'all seen him on stage. Now him and Sean Martin, they cool now. But this man bullied Sean's set. Like he bullied Sean Martin's set.
That's not what happened.
And
that's not what happened.
What happened, Zach?
So here's the actual story. I don't know if I've actually told the full story online. I didn't even talk about it.
Make it plain.
All right, so this is what happened. Sean Martin came. I had met Sean Martin before. I saw him with Snarky Puppy in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I actually met him. My dad and I were staying at the same hotel. The night before, he's the only person that I didn't meet because I think he dipped early.
Okay.
So when I'm leaving the hotel, that's the first time I meet him. 14, fanborn, 17 years old. So like, man, Sean Martin. I don't have that picture. So I see him again in 2015 when he's with Snarky. And like, I'm talking to him and I'm like, but like when I'm talking to him, I'm letting him know like, bro, I know your catalog. Like I know like who you are.
Yeah.
2016, he goes on a solo tour with Mark Lettieri. So it's like in his set, and he was just playing this groove. It was with Shantae Khan actually.
Okay.
I think they were doing like Lovely Day or something like that, but they were doing it. I was like, this is something that I know that I can play this. So but like I had always had the idea of like, man, what if I could play with Snarky Puppy one day? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So during like the thing and like the way that room was set up, I motioned to him and I was like, hey man, can I see that? I was like, but like he didn't really know me.
Uh-huh.
Like he might have recognized me, but he didn't know that. Oh yeah, what's up, Zach?
I just want y'all to know that this man had so much courage in himself.
Dog, I don't
much faith in himself.
I don't suggest people do this.
He told Sean Martin, "Hey Doc, let me get in. Let me get a quick 8 bars."
I was like, he had the Kronos and something right here, and then he had the Rhodes and the Phantom right there. I was like, bro, let me sit right next to you. And so like he was like, you want to play? He was like, no. Like he was like, I think he gave me like a maybe later or something like that. But he was like.
You heard
right
now.
But he was like not right now. At the end of the show, they're doing this big jam. I found out that it's Hang Up Your Hang-Ups by Herbie.
Okay.
So it's in E minor. I hear it and I don't have perfect pitch, but I know some keys. I hear it and it's in E minor and I'm like, dog, they're grooving so hard. Mark Lettieri's up there, Matt Ramsey on bass, JT, Eric Gales was there too, and then Frank Mocha on percussion. I'm like, I can play this. I can jump in and hold my own. I can do that. And then, so I'm motioning him again. He's like, you want to come up? So I make my way up to the stage. Fountain Lewis, who is the promoter of the show, and he still jokes about it to this day. I think he's like, anytime like I go to a Sean Martin show, he's usually there, or Bobby Sparks. He's like, security's high tonight, Zach. Don't do it. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
So,
man.
but yeah, so I went up and I know it's in E minor. I can do the line from What About Me. I'm like, let me show y'all that like I know like
that they don't
like,
know their own music.
No. Not that they don't know it. But because I know y'all. And I'm like, I can put the What About Me line in here and we can, and so like, yeah. But what you didn't see, I think you might have seen the full video, but like at the beginning of it, he called me up there. I'm actually very nervous while I'm up there. I'm actually kind of shaking. So like what you don't see is he was like, you gotta rock. So he's like making me dance. He's like making me dance for like what seemed like a long time. And so he was like, you good? He's like, you got it?
He had to get you.
And he broke it down and like he let JT break it down. And then I was like, and he was about to go in. If you watch the video that's on Instagram, I was like, yo, I got something. I was like, no. I was like, just wait. I got something. And then I did
You waved that man off. How do you wave Sean Martin off?
I didn't wave him off. I was just wait a second. I was just like, wait a second, bro. I got some heat. Like, wait, just wait a second. I was 19. I don't suggest anybody do that.
I'm gonna tell y'all. Okay. So since we're storytelling, I gotta tell this story about you, man, and I will never forget it. This was like 2014 or 15 when you went to Berkeley.
Oh no! All right.
Do you remember this?
If you're telling the story that I think you're telling, Just go ahead, bro. I think I know what you're telling me.
So anyway, Zach is at Berkeley, and he hits me up. He lets me know. I was like, oh shoot, well, I'm not that far. We'll hang out, and maybe you can even like come chill with me, whatever. I go out to Boston. We're in Berkeley, and Zach, I was like, yo, what you want to eat? This man says, you know what? I'm in Boston. I never had a lobster out here. Let's go grab a lobster. I was like, all right, cool.
I said seafood.
You said seafood?
I said seafood.
Okay, well, he said seafood. So we go.
This was not a lobster. I didn't go for a lobster in particular, but we find a seafood restaurant.
We find a seafood restaurant. They take us to the roof.
It was upstairs.
So I was like, okay, this is big money. We at the roof. Zach decides.
But wait. Pause. Because I think we were supposed to go to the restaurant next door. And they were like, our sister restaurant has some seats.
They did.
That actually happened.
That happened.
So let's back up.
You're
that's
right.
back up. But they ain't tell us that there was a difference.
So yeah,
they didn't tell us that there was a difference in pricing.
They didn't tell us there was a difference in pricing, and so much so that they didn't even want to put the pricing on the menu.
This is market price.
They was just like, it is what it is when this check comes. We'll tell you what it is when it's time. But even with Zach seeing that, when stuff ain't on the menu, when the price ain't on the menu. Hey, bro.
I ain't been nowhere. I didn't know. I didn't know that. I legitimately did not know.
Let me get to the point. This man ordered a lobster that was almost $200.
Was it really that much?
Oh yes, $189.
It was $180. Dog, I really didn't know. I legitimately to this day, I really didn't know it was that much.
No, but you didn't know because
I really didn't know.
I know you didn't know.
I promise you. I was just like, oh, lobster. I was like, okay, I'm here. I was like, because here's my philosophy with like going out to eat with people, right? I actually don't remember. No, I think you said, oh, I got it. You're gonna go just a little bit above what you would usually do. Like if you usually get a medium, if you get a medium combo at Chick-fil-A, oh, I got you. You're gonna get a large.
I'm gonna get a large.
You're gonna get a large.
I'm gonna get the appetizer that I don't usually get.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go
Caesars.
for it. But
the matzo sticks. You're gonna get some.
You gotta get the
mozzarella. I promise you right now, as you're telling me, I did not know it was $189.
Well, you didn't know it because for me, I was like, even I'm thinking, well, I don't know what all I can say on this podcast. But
say what you want, bro. It's good as long as you're not incriminating anybody. As long as you keep it clean, like, bro, say what you want. I
said, as long as this man, I said, he don't know how much this costs. He has no clue. But I felt like a mentor to him, and I wanted to make sure that he knew that, hey, man, I got you, no matter what it is. And so I had to suck it up. I wasn't expecting to spend that much money. And then this is the worst part of it all, y'all. After it's over, I was kind of like, woo, that was a lot. This man says, hey, man, we didn't even have to go there. We could have went to Subway or Wendy's.
I didn't say Subway or Wendy's because I've been bougie. I'm going to let you know I'm bougie. I know I didn't say Subway or Wendy's, but I probably said something like, oh, we could have gone to like the Prudential Center or something. I probably said something like that.
This might have been before you got this bougie.
Dog, I've always been bougie. I know I didn't say Subway or Wendy's. I know I didn't say Subway or Wendy's. I've been bougie a long time. I know I didn't say Subway or Wendy's.
But it just made me feel away. I was like, whoa.
I sincerely, because I know that you've said it was expensive. To this day, I did not know that it was $189.
I'm invested in you, man.
I mean, like, I appreciate it. Like, dog, I didn't know it was that much. Oh, man.
I mean, but if you want to make it up to me, Father's Day is coming up.
I gotta make. I'm joking, bro. No. But I got you. I got you.
You don't.
But
you don't.
No, it's not gonna be $189 lobster. No. But I'm a.
You good, man?
I was like, Chick-fil-A's not the large combo. Chick-fil-A, I got you. Large combo, Chick-fil-A.
You can have me. That's cool. But like I said, it's all about investing. Like when you have somebody and you see, I saw the potential in you musically from when you were a little kid, 10 years old. And I'm like, yo, this kid is, whoa.
Man, I appreciate it.
You were mind blowing already.
So let's tell the story of how we actually, since we're here, we'll tell the story about how you became my third teacher.
So from what I remember, you correct me what you remember. It was like a rehearsal or something going on. We were at fellowship.
Children's conference. Kids conference.
Wow.
It's kids conference. This is 2007.
And they was like, who got some talent or something like that?
And at the time, this is October of 2007.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fresh off of learning waltz in D flat major. Yeah, I learned waltz in D flat major. Like I performed it at my recital that summer. So like I know the song. You're like talent. And then like I played keys, and it was like you and Elliot up there. I don't think I'd ever really met y'all. And so I'm like, dog, I can play keys. I was like, so like, anyways, they're like, oh, I can do something. Well, earlier you had asked something, and I was like, oh, I play piano. You're like, oh, dope, we got to hear you later. And so like, it's like, oh, anyone want to do that? I was like, I'll play. So I played waltz in D flat, and it was like, and I was 9. This 2007, so I'm 10. And so like, I played the song, and like, I guess, you know, it went over okay. So
we were blown away. And I was just like, who is this little kid like in here playing this classical music like this, like killing? And my eyes lit up because I always want to pour into the next generation. So I was like, man, this dude could be a beast for real.
Man,
and then I
it.
think it might have been your mom or your dad approached me about, you know, doing some lessons. Like, yeah, he want to learn gospel.
So it happened. So, and then like maybe March, April-ish, I was sitting in church, and like, and my mom was like, I guess it might have been you Sunday. And she's like, you can play this, right? And I was like, I could probably learn this stuff. Yeah. So I guess one day I was at the church and I saw you, and I was like, what do I need to do to be able to play in the youth choir? And we worked it out. And so every Monday after school, like at 3:30, 4 o'clock, I would come to Jay, and he would teach me not only the songs that we were playing, but like how to learn the songs and the patterns that you would always see like in gospel music.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first lesson, we learned the welcome song that was at Fellowship at the time, and you taught me the concept of tritones. I remember specifically that was the first lesson.
Wow, that's a hard lesson.
Specifically, that was the first lesson. You were like, oh, this is the 3 and the 7, and then like they rotate like when you get back around or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember specifically that was the first lesson.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. But now, I mean, it's just gratifying, man, to see how far you've come. And I remember, like you said, every Monday.
Every Monday. Around. And so when we were getting, I guess, like when I was like progressing or whatever, but I remember you ain't let me just hang by because the welcome song was in C sharp. But I was like, but you're like, what key do you want to learn it in? I was like, oh, I'll learn it in C. Like, I was like, C is a good thing to play in. And so I learned it in C for the first youth Sunday. And then the second youth Sunday came around, and it was like, bro, I know it in, I was like, I don't know it in C sharp. And it's like, songs in C sharp. Songs in D flat. I'm like, you got to figure it out. Like, thankfully, you weren't the only person up there. Thankfully, there's Elliot, and like, I wasn't holding it down.
Yeah.
But like, I'll go back. Actually, the first Sunday that I played at church for real was my 11th birthday. And then Pastor Reed acknowledged me. It was a whole thing. But now that second youth Sunday, you're like, it was in C sharp.
And we in C sharp now, Doc. Hey,
like you. And then also before that, another thing. So when I was at my school, Christian Fellowship Academy, now called the Winning Academy, they would have like their chorales, and they would do like for the Christmas program, they would have songs and stuff. They played Silent Night. So one year they did Silent Night. I know Silent Night in C. And so I was like, but I don't know the concept of songs are in different, like there are multiple songs and you can change the key or whatever. Yeah. I know Silent Night in C. I'm playing Silent Night. I was like, so I go up to Miss Melanie, First Lady Melanie Wilder now. So I go, I gotta talk to them. I ain't seen them in a minute. But so I talked to her, and she's like, which songs of these do you know? And I'm like, I can play Silent Night. And so like I play it. She's like making sure that like I'm legit, I guess. But like I think I had already performed at the school. I don't remember the exact timeline. But anyways, she was like, all right, well, you can play the song, but we played in A flat. So she just gave me the +8. She just gave me the +8 on the tritone. Yeah, she just gave me on the triton. So yeah, she just hit me the +8. Like she was like, yeah, let the kid play. He can play. So she hit me with the +8. Yeah,
jeez.
That's what she did.
Wow.
And that's how I found the concept of the transpose button.
Wow.
So
see how she introduced you to that?
So
Lady Mel.
But it was just but so we're rehearsing a song that goes up in rehearsal. So like everybody clap your hands. Okay. Was the song. So I know the pattern, and then he's like, "Oh no, it goes up," and I'm like, "Oh dog, I know it
right here.
I know it right here."
In this key.
And I was like, wait. So we were on the motif ES8, and I was like, where's the transpose button? And he was like, bro, what? And so he was like, bro, we don't do that. He let me use the transpose. He was like, I got you this time. He made me close my eyes, so I didn't even know where it was on the keyboard. He was like, cover your eyes, don't even look at this.
Oh man.
And that was the only time that I like really used the transpose button. And like have not used. I promise you. There was one time I tried to use it because the keyboard was like out of tune. I feel like it was set, but I didn't know where to. I was trying to find it. Oh no! I was playing like key bass or something, and so I like transposed that one to match.
Okay.
The bottom one.
Okay.
But like I do not use the transpose button, and you're the one who got me out of that. Especially like because you told me so many horror stories about when you see people using it.
I can tell y'all a million stories down there. Now, there's one way I do use the transpose button, and I know I shared that with you. Like, if a song is in A flat, and I'm like, I'm tired of playing this in A flat, I want to learn it in B, then I'll transpose the keyboard to, if I'm in B, what is it, like -3?
-3 or +3, depending on what angle you're coming from. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll transpose it so it's in the key that I want to play in, and challenge myself. But
got you.
But
no, I definitely. So we did those lessons for like 2 years.
We did, and so it made me realize you've always been ambitious. You've always had that drive, because I remember you told me, you was like, how long you think it'll take me to be able to play here?
Did I say that?
Yeah, I was like,
oh,
bro,
dog, that's crazy.
I was like, man, it takes a while. You really got to train, and you told me, man, give me about 3 years. I'll take your job.
Did I say that?
You literally told me that you were going to take my job
dog,
in 3 years. That might be why I moved.
He's like, hey, man, Zach got next.
Hey, this man is getting good.
I said that for real?
You said that.
That is such an egregious.
That's
why
I know you waved off Sean Martin. That's
I said that when I was.
Bro, you told me you were going to take my job in 3 years.
That is crazy to me.
That drive is not left.
That is wild.
Oh, yes, man. That's wild. But I loved it because I saw that passion that driving you. So I was like, man, this kid got it. Like,
man, I definitely appreciate it. But no, like we did those lessons for 2 years until you left. But like, no, I definitely learned like a lot from those. I was telling one of the episodes, I was like, I need to get back on it. I was like, I need some more, because like I'm in this between space of like too churchy for jazz, too jazzy for church. It's kind of like I want to like separate them a little bit more. Like when I hear it together, it's like it's cool to some people, because it's like if I'm playing jazz, it's like, oh, you like. I remember when I went to school. When I went to school, I'm like, dog, stop playing so gospel-y. And then, but like I would go to church, and it's like, I was like, dog, you sound too jazzy. And so like, but it's just like, because I've got all of that, and like I'm just doing it, and so like sometimes it's hard to separate.
It has to be a discipline,
things.
And that's what we get. As musicians, we get to a point where if we have not been in that woodshed as much or whatever, you start to struggle a little bit to make sure you are playing for the gig, so to speak. So if it's a jazz gig, play jazz. Church, play church. Because music is interpreted. There are styles and genres that define them according to the sound. So we got to be able to play that sound.
Got you.
Versatility.
This has been a question. How do you set the line between gospel, like ministry, and like entertainment? Because like say you get tickets to a Ty Tribbett concert. Yes, he is still ministering, but it is like it is also a show. Oh, yeah. So like, what is that line, and how do you stay on that line? Because like, I don't know if y'all know, Jay doesn't only play keys. He's like the worship leader, praise team leader, choir director, all that sort of stuff. So like, how do you make sure that you don't cross it, I guess, or like just know the like just the boundaries or whatever?
I'm real with it, because people are going to always tell you, church folks are going to say, this is ministry. This is not about a show. We didn't come here to entertain you. If I paid a ticket, you did.
Yeah.
I paid a price to get here. I paid for entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what people have to always understand. A lot of gospel artists, they understand that.
Mm-hmm.
They understand that when you come in on a Sunday morning into a church, then this is all about the Lord. This is worship.
Mm-hmm.
But when people put a dollar amount on something, they want to see a type of show. Even when people come to church, they want some type of show. You got the fancy lights and you got the, all the smoke and all kind of stuff. There is an element of performance to music at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So if people understand that, especially your worship teams and what have you, know that people are looking. So you got to perform. You got to move. So why do people love Ty Tribbett?
Mm-hmm.
He got energy.
Yeah.
He's gonna give you a show,
Mm-hmm.
But it's for him. He knows I'm performing, but the end result is I want to give God the glory, and so that's how I look at it, man. I want to give God the glory, but I still want to have fun.
Yeah.
I still want to run and jump and what have you. So you got to learn how to. Hey, two things could be true at one time.
Okay.
This could be ministry and it
Also
can be
entertaining.
Yeah.
Got you. And also, I meant to say earlier, you're always on top of like the new like technology. Like you're always. So what made you like be on top of that? Like I remember like running. Oh man, I remember. Well, I never did it on a Sunday, but like I was trying to run the patterns at a rehearsal. Dog, that because it was like the other keyboard player wasn't there, or like maybe it was the transition time or whatever. It's like, hey, you running tracks tonight, Wilson? I'm like, bro, what? And so it's like, if you've ever run tracks like on a motif or anything. So it's like usually like bars of 4 or bars of 8. And so like you have to hit the next set of patterns. So like say like there's a verse on one, and then there's a chorus on the other one. Like you have to hit it when you're like in the last measure.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you're on the 8th bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, you've got to hit it within those 4 beats. Dog, I was hitting it in beat 7, and then it makes this bad noise when it's like when it doesn't. I was in rehearsal bombing. People were looking at me. I'm like, please don't do this. I messed up one time when I filled in over here.
But you know what that is. So a lot of people probably don't even really recognize that. But if keyboard players, if you have the motif, it got the pattern mode, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It can go all the way to whatever.
Yeah.
And so I always program stuff when I was, young and in college. I didn't have no money, so I was like, oh, this got a little sequencer on it. I'm about to start using this. And so I was using the motif and just putting on A is the verse, on B is the chorus.
Yeah.
On C, I just had it lined up, and I started doing all my songs like that.
Just to get the full sound, because
I was like, I didn't have no laptop, I didn't have Pro Tools or anything.
But just the fact that you wanted to do that instead of just let it be, instead of letting it just be like the 4-piece keys.
I'm like, when I hear this song and it got the brass on it,
you want to hear it.
I want to play that brass. You know what I'm saying? So like, I gotta hear that. So for me, it was like I want to be the best at what I do, and so my presentation, when you gonna know it was Jay, because you gonna hear the full track. If you just hear the keyboard, it might not have been Jay. That's how I wanted it to be.
Gotcha.
I always felt like I'm giving you that full effect.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
So I guess that goes to your ambition. So it's just like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it 100%.
Like we gonna do it. Let's do it. We're not gonna halfway do this thing. Like, let's go all the way.
Got you.
So
what's the worst thing that's happened to you in any sort of situation? When you were behind the keys, what is the worst thing that has happened?
Oh man. There are many incidences that have happened. I'm gonna give you one. This is from my early childhood, and this is not even keys. This is just music wise. I was a kid playing drums. And this is funny, at the Christian Fellowship Church, now the Winning Church.
Okay.
My dad was the minister of music. This is probably like 1994, 95, somewhere around there. My dad is known for being super mean in his rehearsals, like super strict about what he wants. I'm on drums, and he was like, hey, I don't want none of that loosey-goosey, sloppy spaghetti stuff that you be playing.
Sloppy spaghetti.
He was like, I don't want the loosey-goosey. I want boom, chop, boom, chop. That's all I want.
Pocket.
So, right. I pocket the whole song. Whole song. We get to the end. I'm feeling it. I must have been the Holy Ghost. I get to the end. So I was like, right on perfect cue.
So it's in time.
In time.
From what you remember.
Absolutely in time.
Okay. All right. He
loses it. My dad loses it. I was like, what did I do? Like, I'm in time.
So he like goes off on you like in front of.
I'm 9 years old. He goes off on me in front of everybody. 9 years old, y'all. Goes off on me and goes to the back and gets this Roland Boss drum machine. I don't remember the name. I know it was Roland Boss. He gets the drum machine. He turns it on, plugs it up, programs. This is what I want. He's like, you could leave. And kicks me out of the rehearsal and turns on the drum machine.
And he has to drive you home.
I'm 9. Bro, I'm 9.
That is rough. That is rough.
So I'm like.
That is rough.
At 9 years old, you put the drum machine on?
Dog.
I'm 9.
I've never heard of anybody doing that. But you know what? That should probably happen a little bit more.
It really should. Because it taught me that, hey, this is not about how I feel about you.
Yeah.
This is about the music. And this is how I want it this way, play it this way. And that gives you the discipline, like I talked about before, whether it's on tour or you're playing for an artist or you're playing in a band for somebody. If you're not in charge, you got to play how they want it.
Do you think a lot of musicians are just like sensitive to criticism? And if so, why? I think I have a couple of guesses.
I'm going to tell you this because a lot of people don't want you to, like, music is our ideas. It's our own expression. So if somebody's telling you, that ain't it, you feel like they're like rejecting you. It almost feels like that. But I learned from that experience with my dad at 9, stuck with me all the way through adulthood. You mentioned Elliot earlier. Elliot and I are great friends even to this day. And he's the only person that I have worked with that has been able to understand how I operate like that. Me and him used to drag out fights all the time over music, like at work. I'm talking about fussing at each other, going back and forth.
Oh, wow.
Dog, you wrong. He was like, real dog, that's why you suck when you sing. Like,
oh, wow. Oh, wow.
We used to go at each other, and then we'll be like, hey, man, you want to get some lunch? Hey, yeah, let's go. And we'll go get some lunch. Or, like, he wasn't exactly telling me I suck when I sing, but he was the first person that pointed out, like, hey, bro, you trying to do these runs, and they not landing. I was like, man, shut up, man. He's like, no, I'm for real.
And, like, hey, man, you maybe walk a little bit.
And so this is what he did.
Yeah.
He was like, he got the DVD player. This was early 2000s.
Oh, wow. When they burned the
they burned the DVDs after church.
The services to the disc, bro.
He popped the DVD in. Was like, listen. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, for real, I'm not landing these.
Oh, wow.
And so, like, he and I will go back and forth about any and everything musical. But we could be yelling each other's heads off. But at the end of it, we cool. We brothers. It didn't matter.
And you knew that it was coming from, like,
it's
all
love.
right, maybe I need to.
It's a place of love because he had the passion and he wanted it right.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to be playing. I'm playing on this song and you making it sound bad by singing like this. That was just his passion.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I respected it, man. I grew from it. So if people can learn to criticize constructively without taking it to heart, that's why I tell all my praise teams and all my musicians and stuff, everything I do now, at the end of it, I just say, in love. So you remember, hey, it's all love, man. I just wanted to be right.
What are your musical goals past? Like, well, like, what do you? Man, we need to get a project, bro. Like, what do you? Like, I'll just say that. But like, do you think like you could ever do that? Because, bro, you could do it on your own. You could produce it, and you can get like whoever you want to play on it, and it could be super. Like, but like, you don't have a project out on your own, but you have the. So I don't know. Like, anyways, but what are your musical goals? Like, you think, like, in the like past today?
Man, I do want to do a project, and I think my heart and passion has always been trying to help others around me before I really just did something on my own. But now I do feel like, man, I've done a lot of helping. I've done a lot of extending myself, and now it's time for me to, do something. So I've been working, man. I've been working, and I'm excited. To put some stuff out in the atmosphere. I'm not gonna make no promises on this podcast right now, but I'm working on some stuff.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You have stuff that I can hear?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Dope. Top three keyboard players and then top 3 like national keyboard players.
Top 3 keyboard players I know. Is this like gospel? Or
if they can play 88 keys.
Okay, I'm probably.
If you can sit them behind the keyboard and they know what they're doing.
Okay.
Or organ. Top 3. If you want to put it to 5 to make it fair, then you put it to 5.
Bro, this is so tough. I gotta categorize this because
do what you do.
If I say top 3 right now, I'm going. See, of all time. It's so hard. There's some young cats right now that are killing, because you got like the Joseph Pryors and the Dominic Bryce, Caleb Shawn. You got all these guys that are playing right now that are amazing. But I gotta pay homage to my OGs, the cats who I grew up listening to. Kevin Bond was super instrumental in my playing. Mike Burrell, Jason White. That's my top 3, bro. I can't.
That's your top 3. All right, so we'll do top. So that's top 3 like gospel.
Yeah.
So we'll give you top 3, like all around global, because I know you listen to more than gospel.
Oh yeah.
And then you still got to give me top 3 keyboard players.
Okay. So not gospel top 3.
Yeah, not gospel top 3.
Oh man. That's still hard for me because a lot of the cats who play gospel, they play R&B too.
All right, well, you can just give me another 3, another 3 national like people that you don't know, and then you give me 3 that you know.
3 that I don't know, but I like know of.
That you know of and are fans of, that are like your favorites.
Well, I gotta say Joe, young cat, but so let me go non-gospel though, and I can't not say Jacob though, bro. Like I know he's not really a key player. Jacob Collier. He's not.
Dog, you can absolutely say Jacob.
I can't not say him.
I mean, like, I know, right? He's he's awesome. He's on the dream list of guests. I don't know how to get in contact with him.
And so there's one more, and I feel bad because I don't know her name, but I subscribe to her on YouTube. She's like a Korean girl.
Jimin Dorothy, the girl that
yes,
you sent me? Yeah, Jimin Dorothy. Yeah. Because you sent me to her, but no, she's crazy.
Ice cream cold.
Yeah,
she knows her music, bro, and she can play anybody's style. Like when I heard her sound like Anomaly, there's another one too.
Yeah. Anomaly's one of them ones. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but she got to be up there because she blew me away. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna play giant steps like Anomaly.
Yeah, like, she did like a video. It's like Autumn Leaves. Like, yes, like 6 different artists, and like then Robert she played it like Glasper, Jacob and Moonchild, and I'm like, dog, this is spot on.
It sounded just like that.
That's exactly what they would have done.
I was sucked in. I was like,
woo. I think you're the one who sent me that video, or maybe
I probably did.
Yeah, I think you sent it to me.
Yeah.
Top 3 you know.
Top 3 I know. That's hard too, man. No, like personally.
Yes, like that. You can call up right now and be like, "That's my homie."
Who should I name? I'm gonna name my personal favorites, not like worldwide.
Okay,
is that okay?
These are the top 3 keyboard players that are Jay Adams' friends.
All right, here we go. I gotta go with Elliot.
Teamer.
That's my boy, Elliot Teamer. Who else is like super? Fred Mason, y'all don't know him, but follow F Mason 3 on Instagram. He got a music page too, but I can't remember it. But F Mason 3.
All right.
Fred Mason. And probably Ray Jackson, man.
Okay.
You know.
I don't know who that is. No.
Raymond Darius Jackson.
Okay.
He's at Beulah Land, music director.
Yeah. Amazing. I don't know a lot of but okay.
Yeah, but these guys, amazing guys.
Got you.
So shout out to y'all.
Got you. Your super group. Unlimited budget, unlimited availability. They just have to be live. You can get anybody for the rhythm section. You can get anybody for the horn section, lead vocal. If you just want a group, you can just have a group. Everybody's available.
Wow.
At first, at the beginning, it was like one of each, but Larry Wilson came in and just like did whatever because he had like 3 key. He had like Corey, Herbie, and like Greg Fillinganes or something like that. So, yeah.
That is insane, though.
Yeah, unlimited availability. I would like to keep it like one of each, but like super group, and then who do you want them to accompany? This would be whatever genre, whatever style.
So okay. If I gotta go vocals, I gotta go Layla. So she's gonna be singing whatever because I gotta have that.
Yeah.
I gotta have that harmony. I'm probably gonna throw Spank on drums. You can't go wrong there.
The first time that I only saw Ty for the first time like a few months ago. Dog, he was playing like I'm about to get evicted if I don't play this show well. He really like, and I've been following him for the longest, but like
I might have to throw the whole sound check. Like I need all y'all.
So
that
Ty
whole
Tribbett's band sound check.
That whole band. I'm talking about Spanky. I'm talking about Thad. I'm talking about Paris. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Dana Saray. I'm talking about everybody.
Everybody from Soundcheck.
Yeah.
Playing behind Layla Hathaway.
Yeah.
That's your pick.
Yeah.
That's a show.
I might need what's it called? Vaughn and them too. MVP band.
Oh God. Let's only do one band. Let's only do one band. I'm like,
unlimited.
I mean, like I did say unlimited budget,
like,
but like, nah, that's a yeah.
Because I like the arrangements. I gotta have D-Lo though, because he does his arranging is outstanding. Yeah, man, that's impossible. You're asking impossible questions.
Shows that you listen, because I ask that question on every episode.
Because like, also, if I think about old gospel horns, well, Phil Collins, but Mo Horns used to shut stuff down. It's
a thinker, man. It's a thinker. Like, you know, we can't just ask like, you know, I try to ask like that. Like I ask that question every podcast.
Because like I know, but if I do like Jacob and I do Herbie, you know, it's like
I know.
You know where that's gonna go.
I know. It's just like how do you want to do it? How do you want to do it? It's just I feel like I got that question actually from my dad.
Really?
Yeah, because we were probably sitting on the porch or something, and he's like, if you could build a band with anybody, like who would you choose? And I was like, huh. Like if you like, I think he was asking from the point of view of like me playing with them.
Yeah.
But I was like, would you get Larnell? Would you get Derek Hodge? Would you get Michael League? Like, so he would ask me that, and I was like, when I came up with the concept of this, I'm gonna ask that question.
When you see, but then you start saying that, I'm like, God, dog, I would love Thaddeus on bass, but I would love Mike League on something too. Like,
yeah.
I would D Hodge, I gotta have him. Like, this
is
can I get Victor Wooten? Like, it's so many.
Man, nice guy, Victor too. I talked to him after the show.
You took over his after you.
All right, that's what's the last thing you wanna leave with the people?
Man, I just want to say thank any and everybody, man, who's listened to this. Thank you for your support. Thank you for having me on here. It's super dope to see what you're doing in this light, man. And I will say I was one of the proudest people of you when you let out the introduction.
Oh, man, thank you, bro.
And so now we're ready for what's next, and I'm just ready to support. I'm so proud of the things. Like, when I see Zach, y'all, Zach is like that student that I'm super proud of because I've seen him from a kid, and now he's a full-blown adult. He's doing his thing, living his life, and it's like, wow, man, I was able to, be a part of that. So,
man, appreciate that, dog. And like I said, like if I didn't have you or Steven or Mark Mitchell or Tyrone Jackson, the version of Zach Wilson would be very, very different. You know, Mark Mitchell almost cut me from lessons because I wasn't getting it. I'm so serious. If you go listen back to the episode. No, I was like 5 years old. He's like, you're not, like, it was like he was gonna tell my mom. I was like, I think you're wasting your time because he's not picking up on it.
I miss somebody, and you just made me think of
who?
John Paul McGee.
Yeah, Larry Wilson was telling me about him. Yeah.
Shout out Larry. I ain't say Larry. You be butt dialing me a lot, but shout out Larry.
He's good people. yeah. But nah, man. But nah. In all seriousness, I appreciate you. I always tell people, nah, I got 3 teachers. I got my gospel teacher, got this teacher, got that teacher, got that teacher.
And you gotta have it, man. That's why you so well versed, man. In what you play.
Appreciate it. Socials.
Hit me at Chief Levi. I would say anywhere, but it's only if this somewhere I'm not on. Instagram.
Just wherever you want them to hit you.
Instagram
all
at
right.
Chief Levi.
Got you. That's been another project on the way. Thank y'all for listening and watching to this episode of the Major Keyz podcast. We'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
Keep pressing on. See ya.
Thank y'all.